Hi everyone. So thank you for logging in. Today we'll be watching a video that I recorded with JL from ADAbots. She talks about herself, her work, and everything that comes with that. So I hope you enjoy it and leave a comment below and I'll try to reply when I can. Thank you. Hello, how's it going?
Here we are.
Here we are. We started recording. So, JL, thank you for coming on. As you know, we're recording those. We will be airing them later on YouTube. And it's mostly for people to know who you are, because the whole point of this collab was to make something fun for the creatures, to dress them up and stuff with their accessories, but to also kind of introduce different people to different artists. So let's say someone who likes me might discover you, or someone that likes you might discover the Hoskinsons or Mosey or something like that. So, how are you?
I'm okay. I've got a bit of a cold going on at the moment, but apart from
I
that,
think
good.
I think the whole world's going through a new pandemic, which is like the new variant plus the colds and whatever's coming. The flu-rona, they're calling it.
This is the
So
first cold I have in 2 years, so it's it's a bit
I
strange.
know exactly what you mean. The first thing I thought was a flu became COVID, and now it's a cold. So
Yeah.
I have no idea what I either got them all at once or it's just
Yeah, it's
this
like
new variant that gives you like
time.
different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I know you from the beginning, from when I
Yes.
came in. You were pretty much one of the first artists I met and saw on the Discords and stuff because of your
Yeah,
ADAbots.
same. Same with you, really.
Yeah, so we are what people would refer to in the community as OGs. I don't know how
Oh, you
OG we
how?
are, but this is how people refer to us.
Hmm.
For me, it means a lot of responsibility in this space.
Yes, it does, actually.
So
And a
it's
bit
a
of
very,
pride as well.
I think yes, pride is very much a part of it. I agree with you, but
Hmm.
I feel there's so much more of a responsibility on us that anything we do will be scrutinized and looked
Hmm.
at, and people will ask questions and might like. I don't drop as much as others. You don't drop as much as others. But when we drop, people will look, and when we
Yeah.
do, they're like, "Okay, I liked it. I didn't. What is this about? Is it good? Can I flip it? I can't flip it." And
And
we're
I
like,
don't know if you have this feeling, but the very first collection that you dropped, it kind of feels like it's the one, and people are kind of expecting. They have the expectations set at a certain level, and
yes.
they always go back to that one, and they're like, "Yes, but this was the one."
So I don't follow the secondary as much as I should. Maybe I should be going and looking more and see how they're selling. But from my understanding, no one's even. I think there's a very small percentage of them on the market to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah.
All my own work, like the ones that are not collabs, there's not much out there from the ones that were bought.
Yeah.
The collabs I see on the market a lot, and I sometimes buy some of them because I like them.
Hmm.
But there's not much out there. I know it's the same with you, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see
So,
much of your
so
work out.
I get a bit of feedback still from early collectors that some of them have decided to sell, some of them are still holding strong. The ones that decided to sell, they said they've seen a bit of movement of people trying to collect the earlier collection. So someone's been like buying the floor basically and just trying to get that first collection together. And then they come and say, it's bloody impossible to get your generation 4. And I'm like, oh, 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 oh.
That's fun. That's a lot of fun. And what I like about your style is that it blends kind of the new stuff, photography. There's so much like it blends in so many different things, and
Hmm.
it speaks to so many people because it's recognizable, but yet it's not. You know what I
I think
mean?
a lot of people actually think I do 3D artwork. I've had
Yes,
so many messages from people saying, "Oh, we are looking for a 3D artist," and it's like, "Darling, this is photography," and they're like,
yes,
"Really?" And it's like,
yes,
"Yeah,
yes. And this is what I felt also like. I knew, like when I thought at first I thought it was 3D, but then you called out for people to send you like if they want their own picture done. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not 3D. It must be photography that's edited. And then you said it, and then I was like, yes, it is edited photography. This is so cool, and this is why I think it has that familiarity to it. Like you look at it and you feel something familiar, but at the
yes,
same time, there's something different. Like it's familiar, but it's not all the same, and it's not
yeah."
something that you can go find somewhere else. And this is what I love about your
Oh,
work.
thank you.
I have I should have loaded my wallet before we started recording because now it'll get slow. But I think one or two of yours. I know I have the is it Tyler the evil one that is in
Oh
blue
yes.
and
No, sorry. There was that's generation 2. It's the one with the shadow
with
bot.
I think the shadow bot in blue and in red, right? The evil one was in
Yes.
red,
Yeah.
and yeah, I have the blue one. I was
Yeah.
hoping for a red one, so I'll go
You got
looking
the
for.
Captain America version, the nice boy.
Okay, so is that what he's called, the Captain America version?
Honestly, when I
Good to
was
know.
when I was choosing the model for that picture, I had major like Captain America vibes in my head. I was like, it needs to look like a pretty boy, that the one that looks like he hasn't broken a dish in his life. Uh, and then we need to take him to the
Okay,
opposite side, which is the shadow bot, which is a little bit evil.
that's fun.
Mm.
So I know I have him, but I know I'm missing. Like my problem is well, I don't know if it's a problem, but I know people like collections. I don't
Yeah.
have full series of almost anything.
Oh,
I
me
just have
neither.
bits and pieces here and
I am
there.
I am pretty much like this piece in particular catches my
Yes,
attention kind of person. Uh,
yes.
like for example, my absolute favorite NFT that I own is my Earth NFT from NFT Visions, which is like
Which one?
a watery blue eye, and it
Yes, I know the
it's
eyes. Yes, those are
amazing.
so nice. Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes.
like
I missed out
literally.
on those.
I missed out on the drop,
Yeah.
and I ended up managing to buy it on the secondary market because I was like, I saw it and I thought, I really need that. I really want that in my
Okay.
wallet.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's what happens with me too sometimes. Like I miss drops, and then I go on the secondary, and then the price inflates so much. I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna
And
afford it
priced
now.
out, yeah.
And then I wait out, I wait till it drops, and sometimes it does, and I buy, and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't.
Mhm.
But then, like lately, I've been so invested, like financially, in cute creatures and
Yeah.
other stuff I'm making, that I'm so broke
No.
that I don't even look at anything else. I don't even look because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna FOMO too much. I'm gonna spend data I don't have. I'm not gonna do that, and then I
Mm.
don't, and then I regret it later. So this has been happening to me all the
It's funny
time.
because I think most people that collect CNFTs, well, I say most people, a lot of people, um, they jump into new projects. They're not that interested in the artwork per se. They're just interested in the potential growth of the NFT
Yes.
price.
Yeah.
When every time I do a drop and I get a bit of extra money, a part of that money I put aside to buy artwork from independent artists
Okay.
I like.
Yes.
So I don't tend to jump into big drops because they don't call me as much. I know
Yeah.
probably many of the NFTs I'm investing on, they're not gonna be. Or maybe they will. I don't know. But I'm
Maybe.
not worried about it. I just buy things that I like
Yeah.
the look of, and I
Yeah.
like to support other
So
artists.
So I have like four space buds, and those are my someday gonna buy
Mm.
me a house NFTs in my head. Those are like I put those aside. I'm like, okay, those will make me rich someday. I have some really cool C bits, and I'm telling myself those will make me rich someday. I have my unsold ones. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna moon someday, so those are gonna make me rich too.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah, I got
So
my own NFTs.
yeah,
Looking
so
for
those
it
are the
too.
ones. Yeah, those are the ones to me are the ones that like. There's no way I
Mm.
am uh, selling unless they hit a certain threshold.
Yeah.
And then I have everything else that either people said to me or someone I like was doing it, so I bought the support, or I actually like the work, or something like that.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your work. You told me a little bit, well, you told us, the people watching too, you told us about the work that, like, why you came in. You came in, or no, you didn't tell us why you came in, you told us why you started. You started with a free drop, or you told me before I started recording, maybe. My bad.
I think it was before.
It was before. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about what brought you into Cardano and the CNFTs and what keeps you here.
So basically, I got into Cardano because my brother told me about it, and he told me it's worth investing in. So I started, the typical, you start researching, you buy a little bit, you start joining all the Facebook pages and talking to people. And then someone posted about space bats on the Facebook group I was in. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So I started joining Discords and Twitter. And
did you buy some at Mint?
I couldn't, because they were sold out. And I didn't even know what they were. So, but I was there just after, and I started to see people selling them like in the secondary market for like ridiculous amounts. And I was like, what is going on? People are like paying so much money for JPEGs. This is interesting. So I started, there were like 3 or 4 projects when I started joining the Discords. I think it was Stigma, ADAbots, Kryptonites was starting to work on things. Just basically just people starting out. And
I'm waiting for Kryptonites to moon.
They are fantastic.
I have a black label, so I'm waiting for them to moon. So
Very
yes,
good.
but I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen with anything, to be honest.
True. Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
Yes.
So
you came in, you saw all those projects.
Yes. And then I remember there was this guy chatting about in the Discord channels. He was an independent artist, and he decided he was going to do a drop, which was Jason. And I thought, okay, he's a solo artist going for it on his own. And then I thought, I haven't really done much artsy stuff in a little while. Just focusing on getting an adult job and surviving and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a go. I'm gonna talk to him and see how's done it, like who he's using, because I didn't know how to mint or anything like that. So I got talking to him, and he explained to me how it was done, and he said, if you want to mint, we can help. So I thought, okay, so I'm gonna create a collection and I'm gonna release it. And that's kind of how I got into ADAbots.
Yay! And we're glad you did, because you certainly have your own style in the scene, for sure.
The geeky style.
Well, I don't know if it's geeky. I just know it's different. I don't like to call it geeky, because to me it's nothing geeky. It's really taking a photograph and enhancing it into something else.
I know, but when you share something that you created with a CNFT community and they're like, yes, this is amazing, and then you share it at the dinner table with your family and they're like,
Meh.
It's a robot lady.
I didn't even tell my family about it. No one knew. And I just recently told them, because I love them, but I don't think they will understand it as much as we do. So if they're going to get negative, I don't want to hear it. And if they're going to ask me too many questions on how I did it, I don't want to hear it either, because I don't have time. I'm not like, I love my family, but I'm not here to teach them how to do it, because I don't have the time for it. I'm sorry,
I
but
actually
I don't.
did get a lot of support from family with the whole CNFT thing once they understood what was going on. I think
once they understood, yes.
Yes.
I agree with you. So, I was fortunate enough to make enough ADA to be able to kind of change a certain circumstance in my life that I don't talk about publicly, but it helped me and it helped my family and it helped my parents in a very major way. So to me, if everything stops right here, I am very content and I'm very grateful and I'm very happy, and it is what it is. However, you are the same. We love what we've accomplished, but now we're looking for the next step.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, but not only for myself. It's just I am a full-time worker.
Me too.
And I have a lot of respect for pretty much everybody that's contributed to helping me start out in the CNFT community, because they're basically hardworking people like me.
Yes.
And the idea of like continue to work hard, so whatever we've started together goes mooning, it's like very exciting.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I love what you said, that you are very like you appreciate the help you got, and you appreciate the people that are working also. And Americans call it the hustle, and it is very much of a hustle, because like I still thank the person that brought me into ADA, and I will always thank him, because he knew me on ETH, and ETH is so saturated back then, and still is, that you are a drop in the ocean, and it is called an open sea because it is an open sea, right? So he saw me there, and he's like, you know what, you're very underappreciated here. Let me bring you onto Cardano. And I was like, what is Cardano? I had not heard about it yet, because I really, growing like the past 10 years where I used to live, in all the countries I lived in, cryptocurrencies were illegal or shady or this or that, but I was always interested, but I never got into it. But then pandemic, I was alone. My partner was in a different country. My family was not here. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to this new thing called Clubhouse. People were talking a lot about NFTs and cryptocurrencies. And one of my friends, my brother's friends from 20 years ago, is now like a huge crypto investor and made millions. So I started talking to him. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, maybe I should try and learn about it now. So I got a credit card, bought myself some ETH, minted on ETH. Went horribly. I didn't sell anything. People who saw it loved it. And then this guy sees it. He doesn't like me to mention him. He's purposely told me he doesn't want to be thanked publicly. So he is like, you are in the wrong space. Let me take you to Cardano. Takes me to Cardano. Blow up. I'm like, what is happening? You remember when I first came in, right?
Yeah. I mean, we both came in when...
At the same time almost. You're like a week before me.
It was exactly the same time. And there were very few projects. And people were very excited for Cardano NFTs to get going.
Yes.
So it was absolutely mental.
It was absolutely mental. That is a very good description.
It's like, I mean, I couldn't even believe it.
I couldn't even sleep. I know you just told me you couldn't even sleep either. We both couldn't even sleep.
No, I could say during 3 months, all I did was work, because I worked 8 hours a day in an office, and then I came home, started editing, and went to bed at like 11 or 12.
And then woke up at 7 to finish your editing before you go to work at 9. And then you take your lunch break, you bring your personal laptop with you, so you can go on I know exactly what you're saying.
I remember working on, because Röyksopp used to be my kind of like curator. She used to give me advice, and I used to send her stuff. And because we got a time zone difference, I would see when she woke up and be like, oh, she's awake. I'm going to send her this, see what she thinks, and then I'll go to bed. And
then she would reply by the time you're up.
Yeah. But I was exhausted. It was so exciting. I just couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like the one thing this project has brought to me, and I hope it's brought to you guys too, and that's what I was kind of telling Mosey, like, yes, I wanted to bring all of that, bring in all the people, have a fun thing, make it interesting, make it big, make a little bit of a wow factor, so many people in one project. But then what I realized, we kind of knew each other because we had spoken so much before, but I hadn't really known much of the other people as much. Like, I knew Rabbit Lung because he's a collector of mine, and I'm a collector of his, and we talked a lot to each other. But a few of the other people were all new to me, and I was like, what I appreciated the most about this is really getting to know every one of you and doing this. Like this right now, to me, is probably one of my highlights because we're getting to know each other even more. Some people are not comfortable coming online, like with their faces, but I still get to meet them before and after the call, the recordings, and we get to talk. Nice. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very nice because not only, like, I've shown my face many times before, but some people haven't.
No, I completely understand.
Yes, to each their own. Each have their own circumstances. I'm not going to ask questions, but at the same time, it's nice to have this conversation, even if it's a logo that I'm talking to, you know, on the recording. And it's nice to kind of sit down and chat like this, let people know what we're about a little bit more, get to know you more. Like, this is more about you than the project. I'm not using those videos to speak about the project as much as to speak about you and your project. Just see that we are really here. A lot of us are here to stay. I know you're here to stay as long as you can. I know that Mosey is here to stay as long as he can. I know that the retro NFTs, Huskinsons, Rabbit Lung, Udon, everyone that came on this, I know they're there for the long run because they love it. Yeah.
It's just been a lot of fun. I don't think I've had so much fun in years.
And you know, when Boss Mouse came in and he said, when I asked him, I was so nervous to ask him because I didn't know if he would say yes. And then he said yes, and I'm like, oh my god! I was like fanboying. I was like, oh, Boss Mouse said he'd do it. Boss Mouse said he'd do it. And then he was like, dude, this was such a challenge, and he loved it. And this is what I wanted. I wanted people to look at this project as like, okay, this is kind of bending my mind. I'm not too sure how to do it. And you kind of said to me the same thing in private. You're like, I'm kind of challenged by this. I'm kind of stuck, but I'm not, and I'm not too sure what to do. And I'm like, dude, just have fun with it.
Yeah, and I did have a lot of fun. And what I like the most is once we've been sharing the results, what everybody has come up with, they're all so different. And it's so different, and I really like that. I love the fact that you threw an idea and people kind of did their own thing with it, and it's going to be really, really good.
And when people would ask me what can I do, I purposely said to them, look, the whole point of this is that you can do whatever you want, and I'm trying not to give you a direction so you would come up with something bizarre and weird or great or whatever it is, so that at the end of the day it would work or not work, and then we'll find out later. And then people came back with the coolest stuff, including you. Like, I love how you turn them into bots, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then I showed you guys when I would merge them while I was testing and stuff, and like once I start testing, like, I procrastinate to test because I know once I start testing, I'm on that thing for like 2 to 3 hours playing with it. I'm done testing. I'm just playing with it.
I mean, just imagine having your creature and having combined like an item from me and something from this other person and this crazy madness.
Yes.
It's going to be
amazing. It turns out so nice. It turns out so nice. Yeah. And I'm so excited to have people start playing with it and really start, because I think what's so unique about this, and I haven't seen this done definitely not on Cardano.
No, on Cardano. I don't think I've seen anything like it either.
I've seen on ETH something similar, the Robotos. I'm trying to find that tweet again. But I think I had it bookmarked. Where's the bookmarks? So the Robotos did something similar where, no, it's not here, damn it. Basically, you could you have a Roboto and then you could dress it up or something like that. But I never saw a mint button. You cannot re-mint it. You just downloaded the JPEG and you did whatever or the PNG or whatever, and then you did whatever you wanted with it. But then I saw what they did, and I saw what NFT Maker Pro did, where they did the screenshot of the colors they had and stuff. Yeah. And I thought, why don't we just combine it together and mint and play? Yeah. And then I went to Adam Dean, and I'm always going to mention Adam Dean, and I was going to call him out in those videos because he knows up stuff I am at him, but I love him. And I was like, Adam Dean, I need your Ludo token so I can get this done. And he was like, yes, I'm working on it. It's taking so long. So then I went and hired Alex from NFT Craze to actually do the backend. and this is where you are. So yay! So you joined the NFT CNFT community, as we love to call it. You've had how many generations now?
So I did collection 1, which was, I said it from the beginning, it was intended to be 5 generations, in which the first drop was going to have a higher quantity, and the quantity we're going to go slowly going down until the last generation was just 1. And I had no idea in a million years that it was going to be such a success. I remember going into the first drop thinking like, I might sell a few. And it went absolutely bonkers. And it was a lot of fun just to have that chatting with people, messaging, feedback. And it was a bit like still like beginning of like NFT market, like just transaction ID, just send me the ADA, I send you the NFT kind of business. And
there was so much trust. I loved it.
There was so much trust. It was incredible. And I remember when I was my first CNFT was, I think, one of the little monsters. Can't remember. Finger monsters. Yes. And I remember someone dropped an address in a website and said, this drop is happening now. And I was like, they're just asking me to send 50 ADA to this random address. What if it's a scam? What if I just... And I didn't have a lot of ADA at the time. I was quite ADA poor. I was like, literally, I just sent 50 ADA to a stranger and I got no idea if I'm getting anything back. And it was also the times where they did
because they were one of the first.
It was also a pre-sale, which meant I had to wait like a couple of weeks to get my NFT.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a lot of trust.
A lot of trust. It was like, I just send money to a stranger. Maybe I'll get an NFT back. I am bonkers.
So they did send them out, I remember, right?
Yeah. Like, and everybody was so excited about Finger Monsters, and then they weren't.
But where did they go? I heard they came back again for like a collection 2, and then they disappeared.
So I remember when I saw the hype was dying down a little bit.
Yeah.
But this all was due to the inevitable flippers going super. Like, I remember the first hours after it sold out, people were trying like highballing like offers, like, yeah, like I'll sell it for like 500 ADA, 1,000 ADA, and then 3 hours after, people were like, okay, I'll give it to you for like 40, and it's like, dude, you bought it for 50. What's going on? So I think inevitably, like the web of flippers kind of dropped the floor a little bit, and then people sort of like lost the hype. And then I suggested them on Twitter, like, how about you do something cool like breeding the monsters? So only people that have bought this first generation can breed. And they thought it was cool, and they did come up with a plan to do that. To be honest, I think they released a second wave, but I don't know what's happened after with that. So I think the intention was to go ahead with breeding, but
I think they disappeared for a while, and that's the thing. Like we never know what's happening in people's lives, especially in crypto.
No, exactly, yeah.
So they might have had the best of intentions, and something happened. I know for a fact that one of the bigger projects, ADA miners, apparently it was someone quite young, and he got so overwhelmed that he couldn't take it anymore. And it was more of like a physical stress almost, that he kind of had to let go of the project.
It was a huge responsibility. I don't think anyone, I didn't know, like when I first got into it, I didn't know how huge it was and how much stress it was going to, like how much pleasure and how much stress it was going to bring into my life. Because I do feel a responsibility, to keep the project alive and innovate. And
you know that emoji of like the smile with one tear? That is like describing us, because we love it so much, but at the same time, it's almost
There is a lot of
agony to get
pressure.
something. Yeah,
There is a
there's
lot of
so
pressure
much
from the community,
pressure.
and there should be pressure from the community.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like that's basically like, if you don't demand quality, it's
You
just
won't
not
get
going to
it.
go anywhere. And
No.
we want Cardano to grow. So if we demand quality from creators, then that's
Yeah,
where change and evolution happens, in my
exactly.
opinion. Hmm.
Exactly. And
But
I
there is a
agree
lot
with
of
you.
pressure. So
Yeah, I agree with you on that, because there is so much that there's so much happening. Like today, okay, let us just say the date so people know. So today is the 7th of January, and if this lives on forever, this video, people can go back and look on. By like in the last couple of months, there's been so many rug pulls. There's been so much bad
yeah,
acting happening. There's been so much people calling them out. People have gotten better at catching them before they actually start collecting
yes,
ADA, which is
yeah,
great.
yeah,
The good thing, I know this doesn't sound really nice to say, but the good thing about this happening is that it makes people trust us more, because
yeah,
we've been in here so long. So
yeah.
when someone like me or you comes up with like or what's his name? He's in the Rokindo collective. Oh God, I'm spacing out. I should know this. I should not be asking. Joseph. When Joseph Miranda, God, he's gonna hate me when he sees this video. But when
Oh,
Joseph Miranda comes out with a PFP, you know it's gonna be great.
yeah, yeah.
So it's one of the ones
And
I
you
missed
have that
out on.
trust because you've seen that person perform
Yes,
and
yes,
be successful in the past, and they've basically
yes,
um, they've been good to the community, and
exactly.
you trust them. And but there's so many, like, from when I started to now, the exponential growth of projects is mental, and it's
Yes,
very hard to keep up with what's happening in the space at the
yes,
moment. I personally
yeah.
can't.
No, I
um,
can't.
I
I
can't.
can't. I
And
think we should
like,
hire someone. I think all of us should have one or two people just scanning all the projects and
yeah,
coming with one document a day telling us this is what's happening, this is
mm,
what we rate them as, this is who we think is a bad actor, this is who we
yeah.
think are acting in good faith. Buy them at your will, do your own research. We gave you the starting point, go do what you want with it.
I mean, last week, for example, I had an experience with someone was using my project name.
Yes, yes. I don't know
And
if I
then,
should bring that up, but yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, so I sent them a message, which, to be fair, has happened in the past, because ADAbots is kind of very obvious choice.
Yes.
So people go for it and they don't even check to see if there's anyone using it. So it's happened a couple of times. It's always been sorted very well. And so I sent them a message and they weren't replying. So I thought that, for starters, that made me think, I saw they only had one Twitter post, but they had like 1,000 followers, and I was like,
Mm.
hmm. Uh,
Okay.
so finally, one of the guys in the Discord channels helped me call them out publicly, and they replied, and they said sorry. But then someone else pointed out that they were using stolen artwork from someone else, from another project. Um, I think a Solana project. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
that's the
basically,
ones.
yeah.
Okay.
So they were using my name, and they were using the artwork from someone else, and then they blocked me on Twitter, so I couldn't see what they were posting. And
Are they
basically,
still
I
out
very
there?
quickly tried to post like a buying website page to see if they could catch any money before they got like their account blocked by Twitter. And I think they have been now blocked, but it's just
Yeah. That's
and
just
I
not cool.
genuinely thought like they had made a mistake, but they turned out to be scammers, and that happens so often. And you need to be very, very careful with who you trust right now, and you need to make sure that, one, are they engaging with the community? Are they posting regularly? Are they participating in other projects? Are they engaging with other big community discords and stuff? If I see someone around a lot, like if I see someone interact with the community, I'll be like, I know who you are, I've seen you around, so I kind of you're active, you're an active member of this community. If I see someone I haven't seen around, I'm a bit more suspicious of them until I can find out a little bit more about what they're doing.
I agree with you on that.
Mm.
I definitely agree with you on that one.
Mm.
So what's next for you? What are you planning to do next? I know you wanted to take a break.
Yes, a very needed break, to be honest. I was starting to be told off by my partner that I was working too much.
I know how that feels.
Yes, and he was like, during Christmas, he was like, "Don't look at Twitter. Are you NFTing?" And I was like, "No."
Maybe you go
maybe.
into pee and you
Yes,
reply. I've perfected the art of doing the male pee while I tweet, while I tweet with
I'm just
both
texting
hands.
my mom. But yeah, I actually have been doing a bit of learning because so far I've only been doing photography, and this kind of has awakened the will to learn and evolve. So I've been doing a bit of 3D modeling and trying to learn that and trying to learn animation to see if I can make an awesome badass animated bot girl.
Yes.
So far I've managed to do a tutorial for a donut. So from donut to
It
hot
starts
cake,
with donuts.
it's going to be a transition, but I am excited.
Tyler might be a good person for you to talk to. Tyler with spaces?
Oh, Tyler, yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I do love Tyler. He's a very sweet guy. I feel a bit, I don't want to take anyone's time. So far, I've been doing YouTube is full of knowledge everywhere.
Yes.
Like, I've been just basically been following tutorials on Blender and starting like putting one foot in front of the other and trying to get the fundamentals, the basics. I mean, pretty much any software, any creative software I touch, I end up being very good at. I just need to have the time to get familiar with it. But I am super excited to keep creating new stuff. I've also been doing a bit of illustration. So yeah, just I want to mix it up a little bit.
So who are you excited about, of course, other than this one? What is the next project you're excited about? Is there anything you see and you're like, ooh, I really, really want?
So I aped into equine recently. Not only because I was super excited about the project itself, but also because it's run by good friends.
Yes.
So I was like, I want to support these guys, and also, to be honest, it looks really, really cool. So I am well excited about how this game is turning out to be and the next stages of the project. I haven't actually had a lot of time lately to look at other stuff. But one of the things I would like to do is try to find those little artists that are shyly stepping into the space now, and just try to help them into the spotlight a little bit. And yeah, it'd be nice to acquire some new nice artsy low mint artwork. That's really what gets me excited.
So have you seen, like, I love the equians. I think they're great. I was lucky enough to have dinner with Fahad a couple of times when I go to Qatar. I haven't been to Qatar in a while, but I'd like to go back mostly to have dinner with him, because we do this for like 2 or 3 hours. We're just sitting there eating and talking.
Basically, we are a bunch of people that are really into CNFTs, but actually we don't have any friends around that are very into CNFTs. So when we get talking together, this is what happens.
This is exactly what happens. We end up talking forever, and especially when there's food around. And we both love to eat, so we're in some restaurant somewhere, just chilling out, laughing our asses off, and talking
That's really nice.
this. Which when we talk to each other, we're like, this is so good. Like we just met the first time. We met, we sat for like almost 6 hours.
That's
We just
amazing.
met, but at the same time, this is so much fun because we feel like we know each other and we're talking and talking and talking and sharing ideas and showing each other what we're working on. And, just like if you were sitting next to me right now with a cup of tea, we would be doing that.
Yeah, precisely. But don't you find it really strange that it was one thing that really I wasn't expecting about the Cardano community is how close you can get to a bunch of people online in such a little time. Like, I got several friends that I have made in this community that I often like text, and even just to ask, how are you doing? How's your life at the moment? How's your family? It's mental. I love it. It's really great.
You know what? I have a few collectors like that. Like I have 2 people for sure, like 2 or 3 people. I have Fettuccini, Marshall, because they worked with me and they still do. Like especially Fet and I are quite close with the work aspect mostly, but we have a little personal aspect going too. Me and Marshall are very close. I have a few collectors. I will not name them because they're more collectors, and so I don't want to.
No, I tend not to name people.
Yeah, like
the name, but
exactly, so those people, we actually ask each other how's our family doing because we've shared some personal stuff with each other, and I think this to me is the fun part. Yeah, of course the creativity is fun, but to me that's a given. Like when you're creating and you're making stuff, it's a given to have fun. But to connect with those people and to get to know them more and to go further and to like really have like they remember that someone in my family was sick or I was sick, and they would send a message, how was that, how's everything going, everything good. That to me is like, I really want to give them a hug when I meet them someday,
Yeah, definitely. When we meet each other in our yachts.
In our yachts,
when
exactly.
Cardano moves.
Well, you joke about the yacht, but I hope you're not. But at the same time, like my dad always said growing up, because our friends had yachts, he always said, you never buy a yacht or a boat for yourself, you buy it for your friends, because you're stuck with the maintenance, you're stuck with all the shit that comes with it and all the expenses. But then your friends come on for a day or two, they're out in the sun, they're having fun, and then you're stuck getting everything fixed. So I don't know if I'll buy a yacht. The practical part of me does not want one.
But I've always kind of wanted a boat of some sort.
Well, I don't know. I've seen some yachts, and I tell you, they're better than most homes I've seen.
It's mostly because of the freedom. I love moving around. I love traveling. So the idea of having a boat is like really great.
In the UK, can't you have those boat houses, those long boats that you can live on?
Yes. Actually, if I still lived in London, I would probably have one of those because they are amazing. But you need to live close to a canal to be able to live on one of those. So
well, you have to live in a canal, don't you?
Yeah, like I mean, just your area needs to have a canal so you can live in one of those. But I love them. I think they're really, really great. Very quirky and a bit of an alternative lifestyle. Yeah.
And you pay like a weekly fee, I think, or a monthly fee.
It's very cheap. I think you can.
Cheap.
Yeah, like mooring is very, very cheap in the canals, and I think you have to move every 7 days, but you can just move up and down the canal. Like it's not like you have to go really fast.
you can talk to someone and agree to just swap places every week.
Yeah, it's easy. But I think it's a very lovely life. It comes with its pros and cons, but I had a couple of friends in London that lived there, and they really enjoyed it.
Okay. So I know we practiced showing your artwork before we came on to record. So do you want to show your artwork? We've been talking for so long and we forgot to jump into the artwork. So do you want to show us, for the people that don't know, because I'm sure a lot of people know, but for the people that don't know how your style looks like.
Let me open this up. So if I share my screen. Can you see?
Yes. Let me put it up now.
So
Okay.
this is the
one I have.
This is the one you have, which has like
Yes.
strong Captain America vibes going on.
Yes. Where did you find the model?
So every model has kind of a little bit of a story. Like at the beginning of my journey, I was super skinned. I didn't have any money, so this is one of my best friends
Okay.
that posed for me for Generation 1.
Okay.
And
Cute.
then when it was a success, I took her out for a fancy dinner to say thank you.
That's nice.
And she ordered the very expensive wine.
Fair.
Like, how much of a treat are we talking about? It's like just order the foods, just whatever you want. It was really fun. So that was I generally tend to really like photographing friends. So for the second generation, I wanted a male model, and I found it extremely hard to find a friend that wanted to pose for me for some reason. I don't know why men are shy about having the photo taken, but I found a lot more girls willing to engage than boys that wanted to model for me. So I had to go.
Us men are very vulnerable. We don't admit to it, but
Yeah.
we're very vulnerable.
Yeah, like I had a couple of tries convincing friends of mine to pose for me, but I didn't succeed. So this guy I found on a stock photo website, and I paid for the picture, and then I took photos of the objects I was gonna use to create the robot. For example, if you look at his body, he's got like that is the body of an articulated doll that I
Okay.
took pictures of. So
Okay.
basically, I cut the head of this blondie and stuck it on top of a doll's body that I photographed. Just basically made a bit of a collage there with him.
Fair.
Then when this one, Generation 3, came around, I had finally made a bit of money. So I paid for a professional model to take pictures of.
Okay.
Which was this lovely lady. And it was one of the most exciting experiences I've had. Like, set up my studio and have a professional to work with was a really, really great opportunity that I'm super grateful for to the
Has she
Cardano
seen this
community.
work?
Yeah.
Did she like it?
Yeah, it was really great. And when I sent her the final photo, she was like, she really, really liked the results. She was like, I don't think I've ever done work like as cool as this. So she really liked her robot version.
This is awesome.
Yeah. This is me. This was one of the first tests that I did to do some sort of like science fiction photo collage with Photoshop. I wanted to test my skills. So that's why this one is called Origins.
Okay.
Because it was kind of the first sketch that I did of an ADAbot. And I decided to just drop it for free because I didn't feel like this was created on a purpose to be part of the collection.
Cool. Yeah.
But a lot of people liked it, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna give it away as a gift. And this was Generation 5, which I made a bit of a pact with Röyksopp that if she appeared in my Generation 4, I had to pose as well. So I went for Jean Grey Phoenix sort of vibe here. But as robot.
So this is
killing
you.
people. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This was Generation 0, which was another test that I did before releasing the original collection.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, I just wanted to test my skills, see what I could do with Photoshop, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna make this into a collection for Cardano. This was Röyksopp.
This was Röyksopp, I remember. Yes.
I basically I took a bit of convincing because she's a very shy girl, and the idea of like being put on the spot was a bit like daunting. But it was so lovely to work with her. I remember she got a photographer friend to take the photo for her. She laid down on a green a piece of fabric on her garden and took the picture, and then it went from there. I just built it with other few objects that I found in my environment. I don't know if you remember how I generally work. But for example, like if you see that metal trim around the capsule, that is a picture I took of a handle of an oven in the showroom where I work. So I just take pictures of things
Nice.
and then I build other realities with it.
So yeah, you kind of collage them and then make them into you bring them together by painting
Yeah,
over them with
yeah.
Photoshop.
I'm basically the person that goes around with the camera, and if I see something that I can use, I just take a picture of it, basically.
Good for you. I love it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a little bit of why I've been working. That was the first collection.
That was the
So much
first
more.
collection. So what are you planning next? Now that your break is kind of coming to the end of it,
Yes. So
have you
at the
started thinking
moment,
for the collection too?
so I have one last collab to finish with backwards geometry. I'm making him wait a little
Okay.
bit because I wanted to do it before Christmas, but then I got told off by family that I needed to take a break. So I'm gonna retake that again now, and once I
Okay.
have done that with him, I am going to work on ADAbots pets, which was the next thing that I wanted to work on.
Okay. I should send you pictures of my pet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna robotize a lot of animals. I got already a few pictures that I've taken. I think if I go around and I see a car, I see a horse or something cool that I like the look of, I snap a
Yeah.
picture and it goes to the ADAbots pets file. And
Okay.
yeah, so the original idea was just to do the robot animal, but because I've been doing a bit of 3D modeling, I am thinking of spicing it up a little bit. So let's see where that takes me.
I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, just trying new things out.
Hopefully by then I will have more ADA and I can finally buy new stuff. But for now, I'm
Yeah.
I'm so broke that I really shouldn't be spending.
To be honest, I'm not in a rush at the moment. I think there's a little bit of fad in the market at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like people are a bit scared of um, like buying things, and
Yeah.
I don't want to oversaturate the market.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on some very cool artwork. Take my time, make something good, and when I see the market is a bit healthier again, then I will do a drop. I think.
Awesome.
Hmm.
I think that's a good way to think about it.
Hmm.
Though I will counter with one thing. I'll say if other people are flooding the market, I would rather you be flooding it than them.
I know. You know the approach I've always taken with my project. I didn't want to release a lot of NFTs. I
Yes.
wanted people to have something a bit more special.
Yes.
And yeah, so I don't really like the idea of like oversaturate, like selling constantly, like always selling NFTs. If I work on something that I think is worth sharing, um, I'll I'll make a drop. But
Fair enough.
I like to space it out a little bit because I feel like if someone, for example, really likes my project, but every month I drop something and they really want it, I'm kind of forcing them to spend maybe more than they want.
Fair.
Yeah, so I space it out a little bit if I can. So because I got a few collectors that generally don't miss any drop, and I don't want them to feel like they're missing out if they're in a situation in which they maybe this month they can't spend that money.
Mhm.
So
I agree. I agree. That's a
maybe I
very good way
overthink
to
it too
think
much. I
about it.
don't know.
I think I feel like you're slightly overthinking it, but at the
Maybe,
same time,
yeah.
if your collectors agree to it, then it's
Yeah,
okay.
no, definitely.
At the end of the day, we need to
Mm,
keep them happy because,
yeah.
in fact, they are our community, and at
Mm,
the same time, we need to make sure we are putting food on the table and we're buying the things we need to keep our craft going. Like, you're a photographer, you need the right equipment, you need this, you need that. So if you have enough ADA to keep you going for the next project,
definitely,
and you're happy, then it's fine. Leave it, let it be what it is. But if you feel like you need more and you need to make more, I don't think there's any shame in going on and making more.
Oh no, definitely. I mean, to be honest, I think it works both ways. The level of work I was doing before, it's just not sustainable for a person that works full time.
Yes.
It was costing me my health. I'm not
I
gonna...
know what you mean. Like, this week I'm on sick leave, which is why I'm able to make those calls. And honestly, I did take a proper sick leave. Like, I slept a bunch, I took the meds, I watched the Netflix, I did not do any work, not even on my NFTs, until today, because I'm feeling a little better. I think you can still hear a little bit of a cold in my voice.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm feeling good. I'm not napping anymore. I don't need this, I don't need that. So I thought, okay, let's get those calls done. But yeah, I agree with you. It's good to have that break. It's good to just disconnect. Best time ever, maybe, because the market is in a bit of a slump. So,
yeah, I think like I am taking the market, taking a break is kind of giving me a break a little bit that I needed. Because I remember
I'm so sorry, it's almost 1 here.
I was recovering from surgery and I was editing NFTs.
Okay, bad.
I know, I am bad. I am very bad. So yeah, I needed a break. I needed to slow down. But I just felt, I don't know if you experienced this, but I was kind of not in a creative state for a long time. And I got an awakening and I just couldn't stop.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. It happened to me. Like, I felt like when I started doing this, that I came back awake. And not only that, it also helped. Oh, hi, kitty cat. It also helped my day job too, because I'm so happy that I actually became more productive in my day job. And I think they felt it too, because they were like, so what's going on? I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm doing this amazing. I'm doing that. They're like, okay. And then they didn't say nothing else. I'm like, okay, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, because baby, I am having so much fun. So, and I feel I'm in a better place at work too, because like at 9 to 5 too, kind of work, because I'm so happy when I come home. I'm so happy when I go, because I was happy in that evening before. And you know what I mean? Like, it's all this trickle effect. So, and I don't know where I read this, and I don't quote me on it because it's not me that said it, but someone said one of the best things for artists is not to live off their art.
Yeah.
Because that's when they create the best art. Then they don't need the money from the art, so
yeah, no, exactly.
Not from a place of need.
Yeah. I mean, I know what I want to create. And you know what? I know a lot of people adapt to the market. Like, you will not see me doing an ape bot ever.
A what bot?
An ape. Because I see apes everywhere.
Never say never. I'm sorry, never say never.
All the
never
apes.
Say never.
No apes.
Never say never. Never say never. Never say never. I'm sorry, Jay. I am getting to say never say never, because you never know. You might be walking around and you see that cutest little ape that you want to take a picture of, and you can see the bot in your head, and you will do it. So never say never.
But there are so many apes. No, but what I mean
There's
is
so many humans.
I won't try to. I'm not the kind of artist that can adapt to trends. I produce what's in my heart.
Fair.
Because it's what makes me happy. It's what I enjoy. What makes me happy. And you know, if one person
do not go to the zoo, then.
If one person likes my artwork and they get excited by it, and then it's worth it for me. Like, I've communicated with someone.
I feel that's a very good message to end this call on, because it's almost 1 and I need to fall asleep soon. And I want to thank you very much. And I love what you just said at the end. If your artwork communicates with someone, you feel that you've done your job well.
Yeah.
And I love it, love it, love it, because that is so true for all of us. And I feel like that's something that Mosey just said on my previous call I just had. You said it, and I have a feeling this is going to be a theme that we will have with all the people on our collab, because we love what we do. We just love what we do. Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's been very nice talking to you. Thank you.
This was so much fun. Stay on the line, because I'm going to stop recording. Then we will just chat a little bit before we hang up. So thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad I got to know you better. And I am sure people will be so glad to get to know you better too now that they have watched this.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.